What if I told you the charts you're trading on, either crypto, stocks, or whatever it is, they are already rigged? Not by whales, but by the people making the market themselves. Today I've got Masimo from margin.io. Now let's be clear, not all market makers are bad. Some keep the system alive and liquid. But there are also some bad players in the market who make whole industry and give them a bad name. Manipulating price, fake volume, and playing on both sides of the trades. So today we are breaking it all down. What's real and what's rigged. That's exactly why you should watch this podcast till the end.
Welcome, Massimo. Welcome to the show, man.
Thank you for having me.
I have introduced my audience with you about market making. Who are you as well? Let's start and jump with the straight question here. A lot of misinformation and a lot of things going on with the traders, with cryptos, crypto traders especially. Believe that market makers secretly control the price movement of any token. And how much truth is there? And can you tell me actually the market maker manipulate the prices, or it's rather they provide liquidity?
Yeah, sure. So first of all, they shouldn't be doing any price manipulation in that sense. I think that a market maker's main job is to provide liquidity, and what that means is, at its most basic sense, is to provide buy and sell orders as close to the price as possible, so that
Uh-huh.
anybody who wants to trade the token can easily trade. Anything beyond that, any directional trading, any price manipulation, in a sense, should not be happening. At least from serious market makers. However, it is crypto, so you will have a few of these guys um, who will do that in the background, unfortunately. But in a traditional sense, that's not market making. Yeah.
Right, right, right. But are those that dark market makers, who does that really? Do you think?
I mean, I think the space is slowly getting more mature and more cleaned up. We saw last year a few market makers get into trouble um, exactly for this, for doing some self trading, wash trading, price manipulation, pump and dumps of sort. So even though it might still happen today, I think it's much less than in the past, and it's slowly getting cleaned up. Um, but yeah, overall, you never know. There's definitely a few players who might be doing that, but I would say that in a general sense, it's less and less as we mature as an industry, I would say.
Right. So as you said about pumps and dumps in crypto, right? I believe what is your take on meme coins? Like, what do you think about meme coins? Is it really shit, or you think it's worth making money?
Oh man, meme coins are a bit tricky. I personally don't trade meme coins that much, to be honest. However, they serve a purpose of onboarding a lot of retail communities and users onto crypto. Um, Many people like having fun, actually trading them, and some actually make money. I would say most don't make money because it is kind of like a casino in a sense where
Hmm.
you have to get lucky if you pick the
Lucky,
right
yeah.
one. But I would say that it's kind of a twofold thing. On the one hand, there aren't really many fundamentals, for those projects.
Right.
But on the other hand, some people have fun trading them. It does a job of onboarding people and making people aware of crypto in a sense. It might be in a bad light sometimes, but some people actually enjoy it. So I would say that even though I personally don't do much of that, it maybe has a space in crypto, which is kind of a unique thing to it for sure. So yeah, definitely. If you're into it, then just be careful, but have fun at least doing it.
Right. So, one more thing. See, a lot of people say, their portfolio is like, more than 50% of meme coins. Uh, I wanted to know, like, from a market maker, more experienced crypto guy than me, and, I guess few of the new traders around here, more of the retails. What do you think? Like, do you have any meme coin in your portfolio, or what?
Me personally, I think in the past I traded a bit of Dogecoin. Um, when actually when Fartcoin launched, it was kind of funny.
Yep.
I traded a bit of that, but very little. Like I would say 1 to 2% of my portfolio, and then just stopped a bit. It was more on the perpetuals markets.
Uh,
But yeah, I would say that at least us as a company, as market makers, we don't really market make for meme coins because it's they first of all the teams don't usually reveal who they are. They're not doxxed, and that can be an issue on the legal side.
yeah.
And then they usually ask for a lot of this market manipulation we spoke about before that we don't do. So it's at least on the company side, we don't really touch them. On the personal side, I would say, yeah, very, very little, maybe 2 to 3% max of my portfolio, and just on maybe specific trades in that moment. But yeah, I would say my structure is a bit different there. But I
Hmm.
do have a lot of friends, a lot of people in my circle that definitely are much more aggressive on the meme coin side. I would say for sure.
Right.
Um, and again, I think it's you know these have the potential of having a big community and growing a lot and becoming
Hmm.
major tokens as we've seen. Um, so yeah, there is potential for some of them for sure. But then there's also the angle of maybe the pump fund or any of these other meme coin launchpads where it's a bit difficult because first of all, how do you pick a project that you know is going to be successful? It's very hard.
Right.
It's more of a lucky casino gambling approach. Um, so I would say that for meme coins, if as a general maybe a tip, if you're going to be into meme coins, maybe wait a bit once they become a bit more established,
Yep.
um, instead of trying to gamble
Ju-
on the
Cheat on
one
it.
possible.
Yeah. Right. So for
Exactly. Yeah.
did you ever encounter anyone like you have clients, right? Did you ever encounter any meme project that they want market maker, but they want a dark side of it, like they want to manipulate it? Maybe they try to bribe you something like, "Hey, I will give you this much money. You do the dark type of market making thing, and I will give you this much percent or that much percent or huge amount of money." Did you ever encounter this type of thing?
Of course, that's very common in crypto. We don't. That's actually one of the main things that disqualify a possible client for us when we go through the onboarding process. Is if they ask these certain things, then it's just not a fit for us because we don't have that approach. We're very much the traditional market maker where um, we're not trading directionally. We're not going to be pumping dumping a token. We're not going to be pumping the volumes through wash trading or whatever it is. And I would say that's actually the main reason why we've had very limited exposure to meme coins as a company. The majority of these meme coins do directly ask for exactly this because they know that it's more of a hype or a trend factor that actually like takes them from like a unknown token to a successful token, quote
Mhm.
unquote successful. But many of these optics are created by the market maker. These
Right.
elevated volumes and market caps can be quite easily faked or manipulated by market makers who know what they're doing. And essentially, what you're doing there is you're taking advantage of retail. Because the market maker or the team itself with the project has all the insider information, hold most of the tokens, and they're just waiting for the right time to sell and to cash out. And retail is, that exit liquidity in the end. So that's why we stay away from that. We try to protect retail and not get involved in any of these situations. But absolutely, I've been approached multiple times. I would say at least once a month. I have a project that comes to me,
Hmm.
especially during the bull market now that we're in. I think it's more common than ever. Even in person at certain conferences, I get asked this as well. Um, and yeah, it is what it is. I guess it's part of
Yep,
part of
it is.
working.
Yep. So as we are talking about meme coins in a general, What would be your advice as a professional, to the retails? Like there are many people are losing money in crypto today as we speak. What will be your advice that people can stop chasing the 100x trades? I mean, the 100x, buying, spotting and all that, and actually
Yeah.
make money out of crypto.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, a few things. First of all, make sure that the actual token that the company is issuing has some sort of utility or function that reflects the performance of that company. So it's not just merely hype or anything to the point where there's nothing behind it. Look into the company, into the token issuer. What are they doing? What's their product? What's their service? In the end, many times the token performance reflects the company's performance. So if you back strong companies through buying their token, then even though you might not get the 50 or 100x returns, you're much less likely also to get back down to zero in a sense.
Right.
So I would say look into companies that actually, you know, first of all, what's the niche that you enjoy? Is it DeFi? Is it sports? Is it this or that? Find the niche you enjoy, then find companies within that niche that you think have actual potential.
Mm.
Um, and then if you want to, then buy their token and hold it in that manner. Um, more tips, more trading tips that I could possibly give is basically learn about liquidity and spreads. Don't trade these very thinly traded tokens with no depth in the order book, because in the end, it's going to be very hard to get out of your own positions as well, and cash
Ah,
out if you make any money. So focus on that as well. Trade on exchanges that are reputable as well.
mhm.
Don't stay on only one exchange. So if you're trading on the centralized exchanges, have
Right.
at least two or three venues where you have accounts and you're not just putting all your money into one exchange, because you never know what can happen, even if
Yeah.
they're supposedly secure. Um, and then unless you want to gamble,
Yeah.
don't use more than 3x leverage on perps markets. You're free to do whatever you want and do 10, 20, 30, 50x, whatever it is, but just be aware that you're basically gambling. And
Yeah,
yeah,
true.
that's
Totally true.
also,
So,
maybe the last thing there to share also is have a playbook. So don't just guess at these things. Have an idea in your head. Okay, if I buy token X, when do I get out? If I make this amount of profit, when do I get out? Because
mm,
if you have no exit plan, then you're just going to be riding this token up and
yeah,
down the whole way for
true.
nothing. So have it in your head, a playbook, stick to it, and if it hits a certain price where you told yourself you would take profit, do that. Don't look back.
Okay.
Don't get greedy. Um, yeah, because in the end, yeah, if you make 5x and you exit and the token still goes up 2, 3 more x, you might feel bad, like, oh my god, I didn't,
Yeah,
stay in, but you still made 5x. So it's
5x. Yep.
don't get greedy, and have a playbook before you buy any token.
True. True. Absolutely. Absolutely. Uh, I wanted to ask something like margin.io. It's your something, right? Can you tell me, my audience, one of, few of the audience will be the crypto token owners as well, the CEOs as well. So what will be the one pitch that, you can tell about your company, like margin.io, and what will be
Mhm.
the, your niche, like the pitching niche?
Yeah, sure thing. So with Margin.io, the main thing here that we provide is very transparent market making services. So we've been around in crypto for about 11 years now. Not
Great.
always as market makers, always building trading algorithms and trading tools um, for crypto. Um, the main thing for us is also that we have a vast array of connections in the industry, exchanges, marketing agencies. So it's not just the market making service we offer. We can definitely connect clients to many more players as well, but also the transparency, reputation we have in this space, um, having survived all these bear and bull markets. Um, the company itself is based in Germany. We are uh, our plan is to be in the next 6 months the first or one of the first regulated market makers that can trade in Europe legally with a license. So many market makers are going to get out of the European Union and not service any clients there because getting a license and going through this process can be very difficult. But we're taking the other approach. We plan to be as transparent, as regulated, and as open as possible about our operations so that we can be the most professional market makers in Europe and globally as well. Um, I would say also, I mean, the main thing for us is that we're a retainer market maker. We're not taking any custody of
Hmm.
funds. So what that means is we're more of a tech provider than a liquidity provider because the actual liquidity is
Right.
provided by our clients. So if you're a token issuer or an asset manager or a hedge fund that we're trading for, the accounts are yours, the funds are yours, but
Yes.
you're simply using our tech to trade those funds. So on a security level, it's the best approach. And then as a project, you're not giving out any token supply to any third party. You have full control of your funds, full control of your capital, and you know that's in my opinion the best way to approach market making in crypto. Don't give out your supply to a third party, to custodian market makers or hedge funds that you know are trading for their own interest. Give it to a market maker that is non-custodial and has a retainer model, because in the end, as a project, you have the most control and say over what happens to your token. So yeah, that's my my advice, my quick pitch, I would guess.
Uh, CZ, CZ, right? So, the Binance. So, do you think, CZ is going to kill me after this, I think. So, do you think Binance has a lot of token listed on their exchanges, right? Lot of token, lot of meme coins as well. Do you think in Binance, like the token which are listed on Binance, has bad market makers, or we can say the evil type of market makers who are just trying to get traders liquidated, and they are not being 100% transparent? Do you think it could happen, or it is right now?
I would say that, I mean, it's not impossible for it to happen, but I would say it's less likely because
Mhm.
Binance, being the largest exchange, has certain rules and measures to prevent this type of manipulation or this type of trading. Um, I'm not gonna say it's impossible. It could definitely be happening on some tokens, but I would say it's less likely compared to maybe smaller exchanges that have less oversight. Um, but it's hard to say because you know with the amount of new token listings, mostly through this Binance Alpha um, approach they have,
Mhm.
maybe something slips through their fingers, and that there might be some of this
Right.
not trading. But I would say not as much as people think. I think it's just Binance is too big and too powerful to allow too much of this without actually stepping in. So I would say maybe it's happened, but probably not as much as people think.
Cool, cool, cool. So, what will be the way as a trader, to identify these type of shady things? Like, is there any way that a normal retail guy who is trading or who wanted to buy the token, they can identify this thing?
I mean, yeah, for sure, it's a good question. It is quite difficult to spot these things beforehand. They're quite obvious in hindsight. You know,
Mhm.
certain tokens are like, okay, when you look at their history, maybe it made sense in hindsight. Um, I would say if you see patterns in the trading history or the chart that simply seem too volatile. For example, if it's suddenly pumping a lot and then the correction back to a certain price is too aggressive and then it's maybe pumping again or is it's not really achieving new trading channels but instead it's just oscillating and being extremely volatile. That's an environment where certain market makers can benefit a lot and retail traders can get burned. So even though volatility is normal in crypto for some tokens, too much of it is a sign that you shouldn't get in. There should be some sort of pattern you can spot um, to actually make your playbook and your moves without getting burned. If it's too crazy, then just stay out of it. You're not going to outsmart these market makers and these prop firms. They have entire algorithms and trading teams that designed to do their thing, and you know unless you have that at your disposal, I wouldn't be trading certain tokens.
Right.
So yeah, mainly the tip there is to not jump in when it's too volatile, but instead
Mhm.
you know try to spot those patterns and then make your moves that way.
That's amazing. As a trader, or you can say if I'm asking as a trader, does the indicators like the trading indicators and the chart patterns, or in crypto especially, or we can say the angles or anything, does that really works? Like, is it really true? Trading with indicators or chart patterns or whatever that saying that you have to buy the token or you have to go long. Uh, is that really, a thing?
I mean, yeah, they are, of course. So, but just keep in mind that these, in the end of the day, are tools, um, and that these tools you can use to build your own portfolio and your own trades. They're not the trade itself. You know what I mean? So
Okay,
essentially, they're not the absolute source of truth because at the end of the day, they're just tools for you to gauge and make your own decisions. At the end of the day,
right.
you're the one making the actual decision based on what these tools or the collection of these tools are telling you. Um, so yeah, basically, yeah, they definitely are very useful, but they just basing it on that is not going to guarantee making money always. So it's more about you making the final decision based on the
Uh-huh.
collection of those tools offered, all these trading indicators and moving averages and everything. So um, I would say definitely useful, but don't just blindly trust one of them and trade based off that.
Right, right. That's a lot of secrets are being revealing. After this podcast, I guarantee, a lot of traders will get aware, like what to trade and what not to. Okay, I want to ask you one thing as well. Massimo, see, with the DEXs, AI bots and on-chain liquidity, automation growing fast, right? Do you think the traditional market makers will die out, or will they just evolve into, more manipulators? What do you think?
I don't think they will die out. I think it's just an adaptation process. So you're right. There's a big shift towards more volume on dexes. More people are learning how to use them. On the retail side, more tokens are launching only on dexes. So even though there will always be a space for the centralized exchanges, I don't think they'll die out either. Um, the split or the shift of users trading on the centralized side will slowly shift more towards dexes. That being said, on the market making side, it's just an adaptation thing. So for us, for example, we're also building DEX trading tools and DEX market making modules to offer to our clients, where essentially unless you adapt to these new things. Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you don't adapt, you're going to die off for sure. But you need to move with the times and actually build tools for trading on dexes, provide your clients a service on this new um, frontier in a sense. And I would say that it's actually a bigger opportunity for many market makers to actually you know uh, grow their
To
companies
grow.
and
Yeah,
actually
right.
offer service. It's you know the quantity now of, for example, of perp dexes, things like hyperliquid,
And
Aster,
Astra.
and so many more. I met a bunch as well now in Singapore last week. There's a lot of perpetual dexes launching now. What does that mean? That many perp traders will now trade on the dex side,
On the
even if
Nexus, yep.
yeah. Now the experience there is not like it was years ago, where you have to be an absolute the crypto native, technical person. It's much more simple now to actually, uh, use these tools and these dexes. So I think that absolutely on the retail side, the DeFi trading venues will definitely keep growing. On the market making side, you need to adapt as well to this trend.
Right, right. Ah, that's a lot, you know. Um, you know what? Like, Massimo, what as a newbie person to crypto, if anyone is new watching this, they wanted to learn what is market making or what is the tech behind the market making. Well, can you explain them in simple language like you're explaining them a 14-year-old teenager? Like, what is market making or what is the tech behind the market making?
Yeah, sure. So as mentioned before, market making is simply the service of allowing traders to buy or sell a token. So, for example, if you pick any token on an on a centralized exchange, and you see the mark price, for example, at $1, and you see all these orders below it at 99 cents, 98, 97, and also above it at 101, 102, 103, or even more close than that. Um, Most of the times, that's a market maker placing those orders there to allow you as a trader to be able to buy or sell at a fair price.
Right,
So, what happens if you don't have a market maker doing that? Then you come in as a trader, and the lack of liquidity on either side of the order book means that whatever order you place, buy or sell, is going to move the price up or down by a lot, and then your average buy price or sell price will not be the one that you
right.
actually came in trading. That's their it's called slippage. So you
Slippage,
have to
yep.
be very aware of this as well. And also, if you don't have a market maker doing this, the spread, so the difference between the highest buy price and lowest sell price, is
Will be
so
huge.
wide that exactly that it makes no sense to trade those tokens. So I would say that as a market maker, whenever you buy, rather as a retail trader, whenever you buy or sell a token, you're probably trading against a market maker that is providing liquidity on that exchange for you to be able to easily enter and exit that position.
Yep.
Um, as far as the tech side, um, there's a variety of trading bots combined with physical, like people, like trading teams also behind it as well. Um, so it's a quite a complex mixture there of things, but um, it's a service that it goes back as long as you had a market, as a stock market, a crypto market, whatever it is. You're probably dealing with market makers there as well.
Yep.
Um, it's simply a service to enable trading at its core.
Yeah, and people can get execute that trade easily, maybe, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
So, Massimo, see, as few people, there are in few exchanges they have huge leverage thing, like they can do, 10x, 20x, or even 50x leverage, what will be your advice to the trader or a retail trader, that should they use more leverage, to get more quick gains, or they should not? They avoid the leverage and do only 1x, 2x, or 5x leverage. That's all.
I would say if you're starting out, to avoid the leverage for sure. I think it's a
Hmm.
big risk, um, but definitely learn how to use it. So start off 2, 3x leverage, so that you can learn how that affects your position, how the gains are or losses are calculated. Um, because if you go long or short, and then the actual price goes against you, there's going to be a point where you're going to be liquidated. So you need to learn these things before you even attempt to do more than 3 or 5x leverage. You need to understand how that works. So my suggestion would be stay away from these crazy leverage trades overall in general. But at least if you want to do them, learn first with 2, 3x leverage. Do small trades. Don't put all your money into these big trades. Put a small percentage of your portfolio into these trades. Learn the tools. Use perp dexes. Use perp venues on the centralized side as well. Understand when the price moves, how that affects your position. Um, it is very attractive for some people to do the 20, 30x leverage, because you do think, okay, yeah, if it moves a bit, then I'm making big
Lot.
gains.
Big
But
gains.
then
Yeah.
the same thing can happen against you. If it moves against you a little bit, you lose all your money.
Yep.
So be very
Eh,
careful. Learn with only three to 5x maximum leverage,
right.
and small trades. Yeah.
Yep. That is fabulous. Massimo, see, what will be, as you are experienced trader, market maker, huge into this crypto thing, what will be your top three advice for traders to not lose their money or to get more profit in their trades, who are doing trading for, like, day trading, or, in 24 hours, they trade all the time. What will be your advice, like three advice to make them profitable?
Yeah. First of all, maybe split up your portfolio into more passive things as well. So learn about all these different staking tools that you have in crypto. Allocate some of this, um, into a more passive yield generating tool, and then pick a portion of your portfolio that you're comfortable in the worst case scenario of losing, and then trade with that.
Mm.
Because in the end, if you make money with that, fantastic. If you unfortunately go 20x and you lose it all, then you're not betting your savings or your next month's rent on that. As far as being profitable, I think it's more of a educational thing. You need to learn, as mentioned before, how these dexes work. Learn to actually spot gaps in the liquidity. What is a healthy spread? What's not a healthy spread? When does a chart look like there's no activity happening? Then avoid that. Or if it looks like it's extremely volatile, avoid that as well. Um, and then have a playbook. Don't treat it as gambling. If you're going to be attempting to make money in the long term, you need to have a plan. You can't treat it as a gambling venue. So have an idea of actually what's your investment thesis. What do you like? What do you think has a bullish trend happening? How are you going to
Mhm.
trade that? How are you going to get out of that trade as well? And what's your timeline? Have that write that down in paper before you trade any token.
Right.
Um, that way you have preset rules on yourself, because in the end it's a very individual thing. It's
Mhm.
more about
Yeah.
your own goals and tools. So have that in your mind beforehand and then start trading. But mainly, my main point is an educational thing. Learn as much as possible. Follow traders on YouTube or any of these platforms. Take courses. Understand the fundamentals. I think that's the most important thing to avoid mistakes.
Yeah, true, true. You know, last question, Massimo. Uh, what is your favorite trading strategy? Like, is it an indicator or is it some strategy that you always use and you're 100% sure or maybe 95% sure of it?
Maybe it's not the most popular one, but buy and hold. I think
That's
it's
true.
to be honest because you know working with a market maker, even though I'm not directly in the trading team itself, I'm more on the growth and partnership side. I see how these professional traders, how sophisticated they are, the tools they use, and how difficult it is to make money long term trading.
Mm.
So, in order to do that profitably, you need to have it be your full time job essentially. The way that you don't, rather the way you make money and not have it be your full time job is don't constantly day trade. Have a thesis, as mentioned. If you just to use, for example, hyperliquid. If you think that perpetual dexes are a big trend over the next, quarter or 2 quarters or whatever it is, then buy those tokens and hold them for the
Yeah.
next, 6 months, whatever it is.
Mm.
Um, that's, in my opinion, the best trading advice I can give you because you avoid all the mistakes of day trading. You're not trading against professional trading teams that have way more resources than yourself. But you're doing your own research and you're buying into projects you believe in the long term, and you have a plan to exit at whatever price it gets to in the future, and that's the best trade you can do.
Right. True, that's amazing. Last question, Massimo. What is your top five crypto? I mean, like top five token coins, whatever it is. What are your mainly based on your portfolio? Any new token which you believe that this is amazing? What are those top five?
Sure. Let's see. So I always have, of course, the typical answer of Bitcoin and ETH because you
Bitcoin.
can't avoid
Yep.
those. I really like Chainlink, for example, the Link
Uh-huh.
token. I think it's a fantastic company. Um, I would definitely, I see Chainlink as a long term investment. So I have
Mm.
that one for sure. And then on the bit more risky side, I'm trading more the prediction market meta now, where it's as we know, for example, this Kalshi and Poly market are huge now. There's this trend of
Yes.
prediction markets. And
Yep.
there's a lot of companies building tools for these prediction markets. So that general area, I have my eye on. There's two or three tokens there. PMX is one, which is the Polycule team. Flipper, FLIPR. That one I like as well. Um, there's one. Those two are on Solana. There's one on Base called Predibot,
Okay.
Preti. Those I like a lot. But in general, have my eye on the prediction market ecosystem and the tokens launching on there. The ones I just mentioned are all below 40 million market cap. So some are even much smaller. So it's quite early, still early to get into that. And if it does take off, there is a big upside. So in general, the big, Bitcoin, ETH, Chainlink, and then two or three in this prediction market area, which are PMX, Flipper, and Predibot, as well as a few other ones that are a bit smaller that I have my eye on. But I would say those are the ones I'm actively trading now, or rather
That's
holding now, not trading, holding.
that's great, Massimo. It's nice to have you. You have such a busy schedule all the day, all the week through 24/7, I should say. Thank you for coming in this podcast, and yeah, looking forward to work for you and with you. If anyone wants to pay, if you are looking at this, if you wanted to have their services as a market maker, you can contact Massimo. Oh, no, no, no. You should contact me on Twitter, link in the description, and the email as well if I missed your Twitter DM. That's great, Massimo. Thank you for coming. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.